Yo, what is up, guys? We are back on Pokemon Showdown for my Week 7 NPL battle versus Adam and the Kansas City Kakunas. You probably know him from the PMC D-League. I faced him there 3 times, 2 times in the regular season and 1 time in the conference finals. I won 2 times, but basically every game could have gone either way, probably, depending on like little hacks in someone's favor or a little better prep on someone's side. So very formidable opponent, very threatening team. He always drifts like totally broken stuff. He had Genesect in the PMC, and now he has Current Black in this league. He also has Diggersby and Ember, but thankfully he didn't bring the Ember versus me. As you can see, he brings Bronzong, Regirock, Diggersby, Current Black, Galvantula, and Mega Blastoise. Very slow team overall, so I see the sticky webs here coming, so I have defog on my Crobat this week just to make sure I get rid of the sticky webs every time. We're in week 7 already in the NPL. We are at 4-2 right now, so in a very solid spot. If we win this week, I actually have no doubt that I'm making playoffs, to be honest, because I don't have the toughest schedule left on my, the toughest opponents left on my schedule. Like, I faced a couple of good guys again, but I also some weeks where I just have the matchup, I feel. So that's definitely one of the hardest games this season just because of the team matchup. Like, my team has nothing for Ember, Diggersby, and Current Black, to be honest, depending on their set. Yeah, this week I decided to bring like more of a hyper offense build because I felt like my balance just loses to his wall breakers, and like there's no chance I could stall him out or beat him with bulky offense. So I bring SD Life of Weavile this week. I bring Bandit, Victini, Adamant, or no, it's Lonely or Naughty because of Randy Grassnod for Regirock. Weavile obviously with SD and Triple Step, Knockoff, Ice Compression, Ice Shot. Victini has Bolt Strike, Recreate, Grassnod, and U-Turn. Aggron is like a Clef Junior version this week, like with T-Wave, Iron Head, Curse, and rest, like maybe like a wall in the mid game and the potential late game sweeper in the late game once I get rid of the Bronzong and potentially the Blastoise or the Galvantula, but those aren't too threatening, I feel. Aromatisse is more specially defensive this week. I contemplated bringing like a Trick Room Carmine variant, but that was too situational for me. I brought a lot of Trick Room the last couple of weeks, so I decided to just like play it safe this week, bring at least one mon that can take on the Kyurem potentially, and stop him from spamming Outrage or Dragon Claw. And I can take 2 Ice Beams from a Life of Kyurem, I think, and yeah, it's just like it makes it easier to play around Kyurem when I have like a decent check to it in the back. So next up I have Nidoqueen. I don't really feel like it would be good versus his team, but I just had to bring a Stealth Rocker this week just because Stealth Rockers are so good versus his team. As you can see, like Kyurem and Galvantula just don't appreciate it at all. And Bronzong is, I think, one of 2 Stealth Rock resists on his team, so I felt like I needed to bring them. I have Fire Blast, Earth Power, Slug Wave to hit basically everything he wants to throw at me for at least 50%. Unless like especially defensive Blastoise, but that wouldn't make that much sense. And I have a very offensive Life of Crobat in the back with Defog, Cross Poison, Brave Bird, and U-Turn. Cross Poison was mainly for his Clefable, which he decided not to bring. Was like a revenge killer for stuff like Ember, which he also didn't bring, but it was very important for me to bring Hazard Removal this week, and I felt like Crobat was more reliable doing that than Hitmontop, because Hitmontop obviously gets outsped by a lot of stuff and can potentially be revenge killed before he gets rid of the rid of the hazards he wants to put on my side. Just because like Crobat outspeeds everything unless it's like a scarfed version of Kyurem or something, but I don't really expect that, so I can get rid of hazards whenever I want, probably. So I decide to lead off with my Nidoqueen here, expecting him to lead off with the Galvantula, and because this is a Sash Galvantula, I expected to because the lead Galvantula I expect it to be Sash, and I want to break the Sash as quickly as possible so it can't set up webs repeatedly. So as he goes for the webs, I fire off a Sludge Wave, get it down to its Sash, and now I can just pretty go for my rocks as he goes into Bronze. I'm probably trying to Stealth Rock early in this game just to like get out as many hazards as possible and go from there. I have the Fire Blast, go for it here, and he reveals to be Ockerberry, especially defensive Bronzong. That's why it does like absolutely nothing. Like physically defensive Bronzong would have taken like 40 to 50% still from the Fire Blast because I'm modest Life Orb, Sheer Force, but he's Ockerberry and just gets up his rocks here. I just go for a safe Fire Blast again as he sacks his Galvantula, which is a good play on his part. Because now he can bring his Diggersby. He has both hazards up on my side, and like bringing his Diggersby has no reason not to keep Earthquake basically, because everything basically dies to it, besides my Crobat obviously because I'm immune, but besides that, like, Earthquake is the best play from 100% of the time. But I don't really want to switch into my Crobat because I feel like I need to get rid of the sticky webs in order to win this game, just because like Victini and Weaver are like depend on their speed so much that they like rely on the speed so much that they like, have to get rid of the hazards here on this side. Even like the Stealth Rock really hurt hurt Victini and Weaver a lot, so I have to keep my Crobat healthy so that I can potentially defog them the hazards away later. So I decide to just sack my Nidoqueen. It's done its job, like it got rid of the Galvantula, hit the Bronzong, got rid of his berry. It can't scout for the item here on Diggersby, like if it's Bandit, Scarf, or Life Orb. And I decide just to go for the Earth Power and sack my Nidoqueen, as he over predicts me to go into Crobat and fires off a return, allowing me to almost kill his Diggersby here with the Earth Power. So on the next turn it's a double down. I have no reason to switch out now, and he goes down to the Life Orb recall. So Nidoqueen basically got rid of 2 mons and got up rocks, which is great. Now I can just go into my Crobat to defog the hazards away, as he decides to go into his Regirock. Had he gone into Kyurem, I probably had to scout for the set and try to defog later, because I wasn't sure if he would be like a Scarf variant or something, but versus Bronzong, Regirock, and Blastoise, Crobat definitely is my safest play because I can get rid of hazards all the time. So he goes for the Rock Slide here after I defog away all my hazards. It kind of sucks that I don't get Rocks damage off on Kyurem, but I value like no Rocks and webs on my side more than Rocks up on his side. So yes, he goes for the Rock Slide, does not kill me, and I decide to save my Crobat as fodder here, go into my Aromatisse as he makes a very good play, and Thunder Waves me, predicting to save my Crobat potentially. Very solid play. He switches out into Bronzong as I try to wish up, but now this Bronzong basically invites in my Victini, because Earthquake is not a 2-hit KO because he already revealed to be specially defensive, and I can just go into my Victini and fire off a big V-Create here if I want to. He goes for Iron Head, does absolutely nothing even with the crit, and now I'm pretty sure he won't stay in, he won't risk a switch into Kyurem either, because V-Create would just destroy the thing. So he could go into his Regirock, which I think he brought Regirock just to counter Victini, or his Blastoise, which could be physically defensive to take on V-Create. But I picked the Grass, so that's just all around my safest play. Like even if he goes into Kyurem here, predicting me to Grass Knot his Regirock switch in, I can just go out into my Crobat to sack it and scout for the item, and I could like hit Regirock and Blastoise for super effective damage with the Grass Knot here. 2 KO both of them, unless it's like a very specially defensive Blastoise. Goes into Regirock, and I just make simply go for the Grass Knot again, which is very good for me to get rid of the Regirock, because now I just can't spam the Bandit V-Create, because it's even a almost a 2-hit KO on max HP, modest, max special attack Blastoise, so that's like 40 to 45% or something, so it does need like some prior damage on the Blastoise to KO it. Obviously I have to switch out here, don't want to take a Scald, even though I could live a Scald from a defensive Blastoise, but didn't want to risk it. Just go to sack my Crobat here because it's absolutely useless at this point. That's like 30% to or 40% to Kyurem, which is the highest damage output I could go for, so definitely an easy sack for me. Now I go into my Aromatisse here because I just need some damage off on the Blastoise, and if he wants to go out into his Bronzong, so be it. I can just switch out into my Victini. As he expects me to Wish Pass here, very good play. on his part, but I can, and goes into his Blastoise, but I can just go for I can just get back my health with the wish from Aromatisse. So here I'm in a very interesting spot because I could potentially stay in and go for Volt Strike, which has like 95% chance to kill if he's modest and not that heavily invested in HP, like 168 HP or something. But I don't want to risk it because Victini just is a win con, especially if his Kyurem is not scarfed and maybe not native or something. So I just make a safe play and go into my go for the U-turn here, get a big chunk of damage off, which is great, and go out into my Wallace because I can take 2 scouts with ease. I can just go for a wish here again, I think, as he goes for another scout. Does not kill with that. I get a wish off, so this Blastoise won't be able to kill me as I just fire off a Moonblast, I think. Yeah, expecting him to maybe want to go into Kyurem to hit me with an Iron Head. So Bronzong is back in the game, and I can just freely go into my Victini again here because Bronzong absolutely cannot touch me. He sets up his rocks again, good for the late game because I just bring in my Victini all every time, so that's like very good play on his part setting up the rocks. Now he finally brings out his Kyurem, and my Wallace is my main answer to this monster, as he just fires off an Earth Power, maybe predicting my Mega Aggron to want to come out because I'm still in a regular form. Now he goes for the Ice Beam, does a lot, revealing to be Life Orb, so my Victini probably will outspeed it, as I get parried on the Wish or the Moonblast, doesn't really matter. He can just Revenge Kill me here, and now I can go into my Mega Aggron, and like I contemplated, I thought about this play a lot. I could go into my Victini and like scare him out with the V-Create, but I felt like if he's faster than me because I'm adamant and he could be nailed, then I'm in a really tough spot because he could potentially stay in and try to kill me with the Earth Power, which would have killed after on the Stealth Rock. And like if I go into Aggron, I can just freely click Thunder Wave, allowing my Victini to outspeed Blastoise after V-Create drops, and like to maybe flinch it down with Aggron. So, and if he stays in, his Kyurem is absolutely useless, and Victini outspeeds it 100%. So I definitely win the game if he stays in here. So he switches out, which is in my opinion the better play on his side, as I T-Wave the Mega Blastoise. And now again I'm in a very tough spot because I don't want to stay in. I could curse up and bang on some Thunder Wave misses, Thunder Wave full paras, but I don't have my Cleric in the back, so I cannot Aromatherapy my Aggron up with the Aromatisse after I go for rest, for example. So I decided I switch out into my Weavile because he already revealed to be physically defensive, because U-turn only did 27, and I can live one Scald and get some more damage off on this monster. So he goes for the Scald, doesn't get the burn thankfully, and I can just go for the knockoff here to put it in range for V-Create. Actually, V-Create does 36 to 43% to a physically defensive Blastoise, so he's almost 100% in range, which is great. He just kills me with the Aura Sphere here, which is fine. I can go into my Victini and click the V-Create. He makes like probably a misplay here because he doesn't like. He should have stayed in, but he predicts me to go for the Volt Strike, which I obviously don't do. I just go for the V-Create because it has a good chance to kill the Mega Blastoise, and now I just have to get a roll on V-Create, which I do to get rid of the Blastoise. So I win 2-0 in a very good, very close battle. GG to Adam. Was like very hard to play around all of his threats, and shoutouts to him definitely because we actually played on Tuesday already because it was basically the only day I could battle this week because I'm like have a lot of stuff to do with work and shit. So shoutouts to him. He said like he didn't have a lot of time to prep, which I agree with because like I told him on Sunday that I only could battle on Tuesday, so that kind of sucks for him. But like he still has a very solid chance to win the match. I just got like lucky that I got to break the Okaberry on Bronzong, for example, that I got rid of the webs and rocks on my side, and that I got my predictions right. But this game could have gone either way, and I'm really happy I got the win here. I'm now 5-2, which is very good for me. Don't have like the toughest opponents left on the in the season, like besides obviously my division rivals, which always like divisional battles are always like very tough to win, obviously because like they matter more, and everyone will try to prep better in order to win them, because like I'm on a very commanding position in my division. I'm still in the commanding position, to say it better. Like I'm at least one game ahead of everyone, and like 2 or 3 games ahead of other guys. So they like definitely want to make a late season run for the playoffs. So I definitely have to watch out for these battles. But now I'm in a very good spot. I don't think I will not make the playoffs, but still gotta win a couple games from here on out. I think 7 or 8 wins should be enough to make the playoffs, but obviously I want to go 10-2 because like I want to win every game. I don't even know who I'm playing next week. I could just look it up. Let me see. Definitely, I don't think it's a very like a team that has like, how do I say it? That has a good record, but I'm not 100% sure. Next week, week 8, I play the. Come on, don't lag now. See the nice spreadsheet here that we have. Next week I play Litchfield Park Lavitas. I don't think they have a good record. Let me see. No, they're 1-5, so I could potentially. I hope I can get a win versus them. Definitely would be an upset if I lose, but I don't know how he plays. Like I haven't watched a lot of battles, so never know what's gonna happen. But yeah, definitely be excited for that one. Hopefully I'll be 6-2 after that, and like be in an even better spot to make the playoffs. So that's it for today. Hope you enjoyed the battle. Leave a like in the comment, and catch you next week. See ya.